This is the ultimate European all-weather vehicle, and it's the 2022 Volvo V90 cross-country B6 all-wheel drive. In Europe, they love these kind of cars because they're wagons, so they're roomy and practical, and they're raised for increased ground clearance, which helps in snow, mud, grass, whatever terrain you might need to travel on for skiing, camping, or any other outdoor activity. Kids love them, dogs love them, mountains love them, everybody loves them, just like Swedish hippies in the 60s. This V90cc, which is short for cross-country, is a really good-looking machine. The front is striking to look at. Even though the design is slightly starting to age, you still get the daytime running lights that look like Thor's hammers. The headlights are LED and they light up the moon. They're very good. The wheels have new styles and they look great. The roofline is elegant and the vertical taillights are a signature Volvo wagon touch. Lovely looking car inside and out. The interior is simple, clean, well put together with very few things to complain about. The materials are mostly high grade and so is the fit and finish. And Volvo really emphasizes on things like clean air with their cutting edge air filtration system that can clean 95% of the air. So this Volvo doesn't only protect you when you crash, because they're really good at that, but it also protects you while you just casually sit in this notably really good seat that also offers a massage. The instrument cluster is all digital and features Google Maps, as the infotainment system is powered by the new Android Automotive OS with built-in Google Assistant, and it works really well with its own LTE connection. You do get a free 4-year subscription, but eventually you will need to start paying for it. Or you can use your phone's data connection through Bluetooth, which is pretty cool. Currently, it does not support Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. In the future, they said with the upcoming over-the-air update, it will happen, but for now, there is nothing, which quite frankly makes the screen very not interesting to look at. There's like not much. Even the Google Play Store with the apps that you can download, they're not very impressive. Not at all. Of course, you can ask the built-in Google pretty cool questions like, "Hey Google, what's my range?"
You can drive for about 360 kilometers with the remaining gas.
So it will tell you things about your car, but it also, it's regular Google. So, "Hey Google, navigate to the nearest Tim Hortons."
Navigating to Tim Hortons.
Because everybody likes Tim Hortons. The instrument cluster has only 3 views. The view with the map, your trip information, or blank space. That's it. There is a wireless charger and a couple of USB-C ports up front. There's also a pair for passengers at the rear. The front seats are cooled and heated, and you can do that at the same time. The rear seats are also heated, which is really nice, and also the steering wheel is heated at 3 different levels. The front seats are fantastic and they're very adjustable. The rear seats are roomy for even tall people, but the door sills are very thick, so it's very hard to get in and out without making your pants dirty, despite the inner portion being clean because it's like sealed by the rubbers. The trunk is a very good size. It's 551 liters and it will fit most of your stuff. It does have a manual tonneau cover, which you will need to get used to how it works. It is quite flimsy. I'm not really a big fan of it, but you also have these bars that you can put down. They are an option, but probably worth it if you have a dog. A thing that I really like is the speed of the tailgate. It opens and closes with determination. It's perfect like people like me that I'm always in a rush. It's like the Lamborghini of tailgates. Speed is also what the 2.0-liter engine under the hood offers. It is a mighty 4-cylinder that has a turbo, an E-charger, which replaces the mechanical compressor they used to have, like the supercharger. And now it also has a 48-volt mild hybrid system built into the starter motor that helps fill the gaps. It makes 295 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a very good 8-speed automatic transmission with no paddle shifters, and the all-wheel drive system favors the front wheels but can send up to 50% of the rear wheels when needed. Performance is pretty good. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour comes in 7.2 seconds. Supposed to come in 6.4, but now, surprisingly, when you hammer it, you do hear some pretty interesting exhaust sounds. Like it farts, it has a nice bassy sound to it. I really like the exhaust note, and it's exhaust because you can hear it from back there. Also, the mild hybrid system fills the gaps really nicely, so there's really, like, the response is fantastic. Like, you go on the gas and woo, off you go. I really like this motor. It doesn't matter what speed you're in, how fast you're going, RPMs, it always has plenty of pulling power, and it's great. I really like it. I like it much better than the old T6 and T8, to be honest. The gear shifts are good. They're not the quickest in the world. The shifter is a little bit annoying as you have to push it twice to go between drive and reverse. You always have to pass through neutral, which is annoying. And the one thing that feels really weird in 2022 is that there are no driving modes. You can adjust the steering between like heavy and lighter, but there's no like sport, comfort, eco, nothing like that. It's just get in and go. I guess it's nice. It's a simple Volvo. No problem. Fuel economy is very good too. On average, it uses about 9.2 liters per 100 kilometers, and for something this big, heavy, and powerful, it's a great number. Handling is good too. It hides its weight pretty well. And even though the rear integral link with this leaf spring thing suspension isn't my favorite, I have to say that this time around, I don't mind it at all. To be honest, this car can be equipped with optional air suspension in the back. And for a brief moment, I thought that this car actually has that because it feels quite good. But then I just looked underneath, and sure enough, there's no air suspension. There's a nice leaf spring, and yeah, it's back to regular Volvo stuff. But in the past, with the S90, I thought that there's some instability caused by that integral link. Like, it wasn't my favorite. This time around, it's great. No complaints whatsoever. The car is point and shoot. It feels great. It's not sporty by any means, but it feels very confident going into turns. It does progressively understeer as you start to push, but it doesn't scare. The steering feels great. The brakes do need a little bit of getting used to as they are by wire, but they do work quite well. And from 100 kilometers an hour, this came to a complete stop on winter tires in 44 meters, which is not that bad. The all-wheel drive system seems to be working quite well. It is standard on all cross-country models, and it really helps you get through, more difficult terrains. Comfort levels are great, but it does ride a little bit firmer than what I would expect it to. With all the suspension travel and everything. But I guess they didn't want to ruin the handling, so it does ride a tad firmer than what I'd like, but it's great. Especially on long-distance trips, whatever. This is one of the nicest cars you can ever be in. Honestly, it is really comfortable. And the seats, they really help because they're so amazing. I can only assume that the air suspension option is probably worth it. So if you want, don't hesitate. Off-road, don't expect miracles, but it will blast through what most cars can't. The ground clearance is 204 millimeters. The approach angle is 19 degrees. The departure angle is 20.7. And the breakover is 17.7. Also note that this thing can tow up to 1,580 kilos, which in pounds is, hey Google, what's 1,580 kilos in pounds?
1,580 kilograms is equal to 3,483.304 pounds.
See, there you go. Makes my life easier. 3,500 pounds roughly, which is pretty good. The Bowers & Wilkins sound system is worth all of its money. It is expensive, but it's so worth it. It really sounds like you're in some kind of amphitheater listening to a live concert. It's amazing. It's not the loudest. It is really loud, but not crazy loud. But it's so clean and it delivers just the fullest sound I've ever heard. I love the sound system. Overall, this thing is the ideal family hauler, especially if you're a fan of European style. It is efficient, very safe, and luxurious, and it's versatile. And remember, at least for me, a very big selling point is how Volvo is so dedicated to passenger safety. Their driving aids work very well, so the pilot assist will hold lanes for you. It almost drives the car for you. It has all these evasion assist stuff, like head-on collision mitigation, so it will steer away if you're about to have a head-on collision. So if you value safety, which everybody should, especially if you love your family and yourself, Volvo has a one-up on everybody else. So overall score is 8.5 out of 10. If they fix this stupid gear selection, if they bring CarPlay and Android Auto, and maybe add some driving modes, some adaptive dampers, who knows, the score would have been higher. Prices in Canada start at $65,950. This car, as tested, is $77,450. So it's not cheap, but it's definitely more affordable than its competition. So that's pretty much it with the 2022 Volvo V90 Cross Country. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, but most importantly, till next time, be well, goodbye.
Perfect.